Hi everyone, it's Digital MB, Martin Blythe with me, Graeme Duncan.
Yo.
Hello, alright. Right, okay, both representing Team Clocked. So, we want to get together and talk about games, because that's what everyone likes. And we want to basically go through our top 5 games of all time. So, yeah, I'm going to start with you. So, yeah, the floor is yours. Do it.
It wasn't easy.
Right, okay.
Top 2 is easy, which we'll get to. The rest of them, the other 3, were a bit more difficult.
Right, okay.
However, I've got a list.
Right. I'm actually, you know what it is? I'm really curious because I know probably a couple, but not your top 5.
Cool.
Like, so, yeah, I'm curious. Do it. Go
Number
for it.
5, The Sims.
What? The Sims?
The original
right.
Sims.
There, like, that's a shocker. That is literally a shocker.
I've got to get my coffee. Right, so in terms of game, for about 6 or 7 months, The Sims was all I played.
Right, okay.
It was one. It was like an event because there was me playing it and there was a couple of the other lads from Team Clocked who were also playing it, and it was literally I'd come in from school every single night, sit down in front of The Sims. For half an hour, which would turn into 3.5 hours. I'd be sitting playing on it. It was the first game that kind of introduced us to like a modern community, because there was quite a heavy online modern kind of culture with the game.
It was huge, wasn't it?
Designing new bits of furniture and new plants and new paintings and all sorts. And it was just kind of that whole thing of developing your Sims and their little characteristics and their skills and getting them jobs and getting them friends. I just absolutely loved it. It was, as I say, literally all I played for about 6 or 7 months. So yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Sims.
I wasn't expecting that mind from you.
There were a few. If I get time at the end, I'll go through a couple of honourable mentions that I didn't put on there. But yeah, I thought ultimately Sims got on the list.
That's awesome. Yeah, nice one.
4.
Right.
Mass Effect.
Oh, nice one. Right, okay, yeah, cool.
So Mass Effect, as a lifelong sci-fi fan, was the space game that I'd always wanted.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I agree.
A story which was engaging, fantastic environments, the space travel, getting to go around on the planets. The little buggy, the Mako buggy, was absolutely tremendous. All the different races that you had in the game, it just made it so memorable. And it was difficult because when I was kind of trying to decide which one, there's obviously been 3 Mass Effect games up to now, and they were all great. I mean, Mass Effect 3 was very divisive and people didn't like the ending. I personally thought the ending was really good.
Yeah, the ending was amazing.
I found it completely satisfactory.
Absolutely loved it. It was class.
People most commonly go with Mass Effect 2 as their favourite, but the first one for me is where it's all at. Totally. I mean, Mass Effect was literally, was the game I was waiting for so long. But that's an awesome shout, actually, Mass Effect. I can totally get behind that. So, Mass Effect, absolutely beautiful game. Can't wait for the new one. So right. Number 3. It's a Final Fantasy game.
Oh, okay. Can I guess which one it is? It's in between 2. 8?
Very right.
Yes!
Final Fantasy
yes!
The great thing about Final Fantasy games is that there's that many brilliant Final Fantasy games that everyone can have their own favourite. A lot of people kind of around our age gravitate towards 6 and particularly 7. 7 was the introduction that most of us had to JRPGs around our age, and certainly Westerners. But 8 for me was where it was the peak of the series for me. I loved everything about it. I mean, you had Final Fantasy VII's kind of more kind of futuristic sci-fi setting, whereas 8 was slightly more rooted in a realistic world. So you had things like the college and the school and the little army that they were part of, and the systems that I thought were all much better. I mean, the materia system in 7 was fantastic, but the junctioning system in 8 was awesome. It let you. There was a lot of the customization that it let you, where you could kind of junction your magic to your different attributes and build them up, and it meant you could kind of develop the characters the way you wanted them to develop in terms of skills. So again, I was kind of tossed up. What other one would you have gone with?
What are the Final Fantasy game? Or would have been between 7 and 8?
Without
a doubt.
7 and 8, it was between those two, I've got to be honest. I mean, I still love 10, but
I know you've got a fondness for 10, haven't you?
I love 10. I've played through it I put 100 hours into it originally, and then 100 hours into it on the HD remaster.
Did you?
I did.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know that. I know you had it, and I didn't know you went through like all of that again.
100 hours, I got the platinum.
Jesus Christ.
Which took us a long, long time. But yes, Final Fantasy VIII, absolutely tremendous.
Nice one, yeah. Nice one.
Number 2.
Yeah.
This is where it got a bit difficult, to be honest with you, because these two flit around all the time.
I know these.
You know these.
I don't. Right. Is this. Right. We'll put this on YouTube. This is official Team Clock canon, right? You flitted around these two for years.
Yeah.
Are you now officially cementing this?
Yeah.
And putting it on video? Right.
I am.
Okay, right, fine.
Number
I will hold you to this, by the way.
That's fine.
Right,
I've thought about it long. I've made a decision. Number 2, BioShock Infinite.
Ah, yes, yes. Right, okay. Right.
We've talked about Infinite on the Hot Topics and discussions before.
A lot. Yeah, yeah.
BioShock Infinite came at a perfect time for me because it came at a time when I was kind of in mid-20s, mid-late 20s, and I was starting to lose my love of video games a bit, and I very much was moving away from kind of that as a means of entertainment, and I was moving on to other things.
Yeah.
And it was also kind of towards the back end of that generation of consoles, with like the 360, the PS3, and at that point I was pretty much decided that I wasn't going to get another games console.
Yeah.
And then Infinite happened. The way that I described it a while back was it's a game with a run button that you just do not want to use.
Oh yeah,
I want to see everything, and I've always been able to distinguish in the past. People say video games are a form of art, and I've always been able to kind of distinguish it in the past and say, well, no, it's a game.
Yeah.
BioShock Infinite is art, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it is.
The story was so incredibly crafted from beginning to end that when those final credits rolled, I sat in silence for 15 minutes, just reflecting on what I'd seen. But the environments were gorgeous. Columbia was fantastic. They had a pretty much impossible challenge because everyone loved Rapture.
Yeah.
But they beat it, as far as I'm concerned. Columbia was beautiful. The characters were fleshed out. They were interesting. I say we've talked about Infinite before, so we'll talk about it a lot. But yeah, BioShock Infinite was number 1 for a while, and then it dropped to number 2 after I had a think about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, number 1.
Right. Yeah. Which
pretty much
it's not a surprise.
It's not
a surprise to me.
No.
But I back this a lot.
Metroid Prime.
Yes. Metroid Prime. Awesome.
The Metroid series is something that apparently is only for the hardcore Nintendo fan base. Now, the GameCube was the first Nintendo console that I ever owned. Yeah, never owned a NES, I'd never owned a SNES, didn't own an N64.
Yeah.
Got a GameCube on a whim more than anything. And as it turned out, in the little bundle that I got, Metroid Prime was in there.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to expect because I'd never played a Metroid game before. I wasn't a fan of the series, I knew nothing about it. What I got was the best game I've ever played in my life. Everything came together. It's not the perfect video game. There are things that could be better. So the shooting probably could be a little bit better. But what makes the game so special is that it all comes together perfectly. The environments. I think it's. I don't remember what the name of the planet is now. Is it Talon 5? Talon 4.
Call yourself a fan.
I know.
Call yourself a fan.
Best game I've ever played. Can't remember the planet.
Brilliant.
But yeah, it's just everything about the world and the different environments. So you had kind of the magma cavern, so you had the lava level, the Fendrana drifts, which was just fantastic, and the best soundtrack to a game that I've ever heard in my life.
It's just that menu, isn't it? It's the menu.
It's all of it. It's the menu when you finally arrive on the overworld and you're kind of going through the caves and the tunnels, the Fendrana drift. Everything about it was just mesmerising from start to finish. I still plug the GameCube back in every now and again just so that I can experience the game again. They did sequels. I played the sequels. They were great. They were never up to standard. So yeah, Metroid Prime.
Metroid Prime. Nice one. I still remember we went out recently. We were drinking, and just to go back to what you say about the soundtrack. We were out drinking, and we must have been pretty drunk, and you came up to us. I don't know if you remember. You came up to us and you went, "Martin, listen to this," and you had the menu music on.
I can't remember that at all.
Yeah. You had the menu music. We were like, "That's so cool. That's mint. That I love that. That's so awesome, man." It's just and we talk a lot about Metroid Prime. We do a bit because even though I wouldn't put it in my top 5, it still sticks with me even to this day.
Definitely.
Like, it wasn't the most perfect game or the most polished first-person shooter at all, but it was an experience more than anything else. I think definitely.
I think it was just the way they crafted the world and everything, and there was a lot of lore to the game, but it was a lore that you had to go out and find yourself through things like scanning. So you had to scan items and find out a bit more about the world. And it was it was a game that encouraged you to learn more about it rather than just sticking to the story.
And the first and only game where if there's a huge illumination, you get to see her eyes and the reflection of the helmet.
What was that?
No other game has done that. I'm telling you now, no other game. When I saw that for the first time, I was like, what? It's like that's so good, man. That's class. So it did break the boundaries in terms of like little details in games as well. Do you know what I mean? Like the helmet effects and stuff when you went underwater and stuff like that. I can't remember the last time a game did something that was just that far out. Maybe Half-Life, but even still, Metroid Prime does stick out. It's a fantastic game.
Yeah,
fantastic game.
Couple of very quick honourable mentions. Didn't quite end up on the list. Fallout 3. Wow, what a game! I wanted it.
It's a good game.
This game could almost been all first-person shooters, and I don't have a particular love of first-person shooters. Vice City. I nearly put Vice City.
Oh, Vice City! Wow. Okay.
I nearly put a cheater game.
Yeah.
And Half-Life 2.
Yeah,
which was another first-person shooter. So yeah,
nice one.
That's my top 5.
Nice one. Right, guys. So there you have it. Graeme's top 5 games of all time. A little bit controversial. So please let us know what you think. Do you agree with his top 5? Do you disagree? I can imagine a lot of you would disagree because he's put BioShock Infinite in there and The Sims. So yeah. So guys, please let us know what you think of that. Next time. My top 5. Yeah. My top 5. And I reckon you won't be able to get me top 5.
I reckon I'll
might get a couple. You might get a couple. So there you go. So guys, please let us know. Thanks once again. He's Graeme D1. I'm Digital MB. Thanks very much.